What's up, y'all? I'm Ryan. Welcome to the channel. Now, I'm not entirely sure I've had enough caffeine to be doing this right now, but we're going to go over the workflow that I've made that created the clip you saw at the beginning of this video. So by the end of this video, I hope you understand how to make something similar. And this workflow will be available in the description below. Check out the GitHub for more information on the node suite, because we're using my nodes are primarily responsible for this behavior that we can get out of the model. So check out the GitHub. I'll post the workflow there and on the Civit profile with all the attendant assets that are required to give this workflow a try. So let's start at the beginning. It all starts with the audio, of course. So we load our audio. We generate empty masks and images according to the frame rate and the length of the audio, and we use those later. Save the frame count too. We use the audio separator to separate the audio into its component parts, and then extract a feature that we use later for the audio reactivity. If you're not familiar with what these features are, or what I'm doing here with the audio separation, there are two separate tutorials on each of these topics, and I'll link them in the description. The Flex Features is the crowning jewel of my node suite, and it enables you to use not just audio to make your videos reactive, but also motion, time, depth, MIDI, color, brightness, proximity, etc., etc. So here, instead of audio, we could just literally do, the distance of two objects from one another. We could use that to control the smoke, or the movement of the ball. You saw the ball kind of moving around. We could use that movement to control the smoke, whatever you want. But audio is really fun, and it seems to be what most people are interested in. So we'll do it yet again. We've extracted the feature, and I didn't actually do anything here. This is these are the default settings, but you'll see later. I use one of these. I had just used it to visualize the output here. So I'll show you later when we manipulate it. We got our audio loaded, separated, saved our feature for later, all the masks and empty masks and images. Now we just need to get the masks and images from our input video. So ultimately, this is the input video. It's this little smiley face, and I've done some pre-processing to resize the mask, resize the input image, and generate the mask of the ball. And I did that over here. This is pretty boring, but what did I do here? Oh, so I just took one image and then constrained it to a maximum width and maximum height of 768. So just got this one image to get the size that I want, and then use that size to upscale it. I'm sure there's a smarter way to do that, but hey, I'm an idiot. And then we just use this old-fashioned segment anything. And it looks like the prompt I did here was ball and headphones, and separated that semicolon. This is an artifact from something else. We don't actually need this. Okay, so we got our input image, our input mask. Get a mask from color here. So this is a mask of the white, the ball. And we've isolated the ball here using a image composite masked node, getting the ball mask. And then here, for the heck of it, I removed the vocals. No real reason that I did that other than to make it more Halloween-like, because it is October 24th today at the time of this recording. So I did that by just taking the drums, bass, and other and combining them all together. I should have like an audio delete node. Maybe I'll add that. I'm not sure. Sounds boring. Okay, so we got the smoke. This little smoke video from Pexels. Rotate it, resize it. I did this manually here, but we could have grabbed the sizes from. What's important is that the smoke gets rotated and resized to the same size as this input video. That's all that matters. Okay, so we got our bare drums feature from above, And here it's where I chose to actually manipulate the feature for whatever reason. So this is the output of the unaffected feature. This is just the straight feature from the drums. You can see it's like pretty jagged and awful looking. Here is the output. It's nice and smooth with these ramps. That's the effect of this feature mod. So what did I change? It's like I set the threshold to 0.25, so any part of the feature that's below 0.25 is ignored. That's probably the hi-hats and stuff. And set the rise detection threshold to 0 with a smoothing factor of 0.5. So the kick and snare would be pretty distinct, straight up and down like that. So we've made them, you know, that's what's given it this nice ramp, and that helps with the output. So we use this Flex Video Seek node controlled by our feature, by our drums audio here, and use it to manipulate the playhead of the smoke video. And this is the output. See, it's like a fairly robotic looking, it's like obviously the video is starting and stopping, which is not ultimately what we want, but we're gonna get there. And then we take the isolated ball and put it on top of the smoke and use that as our latent input. So we load a trusty Photon LCM model with a Halloween Tech LoRa and a RAL Fingers Acid Slime. And this is the trigger word for the Halloween LoRa, and this is the trigger word for Acid Slime. Doesn't really matter, put whatever you want there. Those trigger words are important though. Then we're going to use Canny Edge to help inform the model as to what we want. So we've got our input, the ball on top of that robotic smoke, and we get the edges from that video. And what's important here is that we've set this, this doesn't matter. You could set this to any given value. It doesn't really matter. What's important is that it's not too strong. Like it's not important that it's 0.5. It's just important that it's not too strong. And that's generally speaking a pretty good approach with control. And that's you gotta let the model fly. You know what I'm saying? Give it room to breathe. So we're going to help guide it with the control net, but not constrain it too much. We've got our IP adapter here, and we're giving it this. I'm not sure that this is necessary. I think it might be because the weight type is linear, but we've got this isolated ball, and we're also giving it an attention mask of the area of the ball. So I'm not entirely sure that it was needed to remove the background from the ball for the IP adapter, but it works. It does, and I don't really care. So here's the animate diff setup. I'm not going to get into that. So we take our latent input with all our conditioning, give it to this model, and we've set the denoise to 0.75, and that basically means that 25% of the original image is going to make it through into our output. It's similar to like the start and end steps in an advanced K sampler. There's some equation, you can get the same effect with start and end steps. But this is the output. So pretty good. So you can see it's not obviously robotic anymore because we gave the model that room to be creative. So I like that output. So here we upscale the latent, turn the denoise down even more because I'm really happy with this. I'm really happy with that how that output looks. I just want it to be a little bit better, but I don't want the model to go crazy. So turn the denoise value down to 0.5, and this is what we get. All right, that about covers it. We went over using audio, extracting the feature from that audio, manipulating our input images with masks, the denoise value, a cool way that you could use a video seek node. We did all this with the Flex features. So I'm going to link the tutorial for the Flex features system in the description, as well as the Civit profile and the GitHub. Give me a star, give me a follow, give me a thumbs up. subscribe to this channel for literally infinite power. Okay, I've been Ryan. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.